Hey there, friends. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And before we dive in, let's just take a breath together. Inhale and slowly exhale. Just let your shoulders soften as you breathe out. My name is Gloria Lybecker, and I'm coming to you from Healing You Sanctuary, just west of Spokane, Washington. And I live here with my healing herd of horses. This week, we opened our new round of sacred circles. And I've been sitting with what's already moving in that circle. And I wanted to bring some of that medicine here to you today so that you can receive it too, whether you're in the circle or you're joining from afar. In our first sacred circle, we talked about conscious versus unconscious creating. That part of us that creates from love and choice. And then the part of us that creates from our wounds, our fears, and our old patterns. And in the circle, I shared something that's really central to my own life. All of us are always creating. The question is, from which part of us? Not to shame or blame ourselves, but to bring awareness and choice. And we also explored 4 layers of consciousness. There's the conscious, that's the you that's listening to me right now. There's the unconscious, which are the old beliefs and patterns that are always running in the background. We have our superconscious. That's your higher wisdom, spirit, the divine, your deeper knowing. And then there's the subconscious, and that's like the garden of your life. Whatever seeds drop in there, they will grow. Excuse me. So the subconscious, it doesn't ever argue. It doesn't say, oh, no, that's not a good idea. It simply says yes to whichever message has the most emotion, whichever one has the most repetition and the most follow through, what you take action on. So the real question becomes, what messages am I sending into my inner garden? I shared with the women in the circle that for much of my life, I lived in spirals of shame. And I thought, this is just who I am. This is just my fate. Hello, good to see you there. And I honestly thought when I first learned that my unconscious beliefs, that they were quietly sending messages to my subconscious, they were writing the script of my life. It was both confronting and incredibly relieving at the same time, because I realized it meant that nothing about me was broken. My system was doing the best it could to keep me safe. And if I could see the pattern, I could begin to choose something different. We also talked about the ego as the unseen storyteller. And the ego, it can whisper things like, it's not safe to be fully seen, or good things don't last. I'm too much. I'm not enough. I'm too old. I'm too late. And those messages, they can go in unchallenged. And then life starts to look like proof, because belief creates reality, and then the reality reinforces the belief until we begin to wake up. And then we can say, hey, wait just a minute. Is this actually true? And is this what I choose to keep creating? So I'd love to invite you into a small practice that we did in Sacred Circles. And if it's something that you would find meaningful, you might even grab a journal or use the Notes app on your phone. So first, I invite you to place a hand on your heart for a moment and ask yourself, what is one thing I would truly love to create or experience in my life right now? And that might be a shift in a relationship you have. It could be a health or a body love intention. Maybe a creative project, more ease with money, or simply a deeper connection with your own heart. So I invite you to write this sentence out and let your heart finish it. I choose the end result of, and then let the rest just come out. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's important for you to be honest. Now, underneath that, I invite you to write, my reservations are, and then just notice what voices show up. Sometimes they can sound like, oh, it'll be too hard. Or, oh, I've tried before and I failed. Or maybe it's, no one will support me. Or who am I to want this? And we're not arguing with these voices. We're just naming them. We want to be able to recognize them. As Daniel Siegel says, when we name it, we begin to tame it. Because these are old messages from what I call the tree of knowing. It's the place where the ego gathers all its evidence about limitation and separation. So just notice, what is it that comes up for you? And then we turn toward the tree of living. And this is the part of you that's connected to spirit, to possibility, to the divine, to love. And now look back at your sentence of, I choose the end result of. And close your eyes for a moment and imagine it as if it's already true. And notice, when it's already true, you've already received this end result. You're living it fully. Where are you? Note it down. Who's with you there? What does it feel like in your body? And what's different about your energy? Or different about your relationships, or even your sense of yourself? And let yourself just feel into just one positive end result that you expect from this choice. What would you love to receive here? Maybe it's more ease in your nervous system. Would you like to feel lighter in your body? Be able to speak confidently what your truth is? Or just a simple sense of, I belong here. This is really what I love. You're not forcing positivity. You're allowing your heart to show you something that's real, that you truly do long for. So then finally, just write one clear sentence that you would love your subconscious to be hearing from you now. It could be something like, this truly matters to me, and I'm willing to take gentle, consistent steps toward it. I'm learning to stand with myself in my truth, even when I feel scared. Or my life is allowed to feel good and true to who I really am. This is tending your own inner garden. And I want to be very clear about something. This practice, it's not about pretending that you don't have doubts. It's not intended to be about bulldozing over your pain with affirmations. It really is about recognizing, oh, this is my tree of knowing talking. It's my ego. It's my old survival patterns. And I want you to thank that part for trying to protect you. And then gently turn your attention back toward the tree of living, toward what you actually do desire to grow. You'll still have days where the old messages get loud, and you may still numb out. You might shut down or loop in self-criticism sometimes. And that doesn't mean that you failed. It just means you are having a human experience. So each time that you notice and choose again, even in a very tiny way, then you are planting a new seed in your subconscious. And when you do that, you're growing a new neural pathway. You're growing a new life, a new story that you can live from. And that's important. So as we close, I'd love for you to put a hand on your heart again and just silently say to yourself, thank you for showing up. Thank you, body, for bringing me here. And thank you, heart, for still desiring more in my life. And if what we explored today resonates with you, this language of the inner gardens, the tree of knowing and the tree of living, of learning how to consciously create from your heart, then you're exactly the kind of person that I hold in my sacred circles. So stay connected. You can stay connected through my email list so you hear when new circles and retreats open. Or you can just subscribe to my channel or like it and follow along. You don't have to untangle these patterns alone. We are so much stronger in community with one another. So thank you for being here with me today and for tending your sacred garden. If you feel moved, I'd love to hear in the comments, what did you write after you wrote down, I choose the end result of? Or what new message are you choosing now to send into your inner garden? So I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you next time.